Welcome to the BVTV Network, coming to you from the UK studios of BizVision. I'm your host, Malcolm Gallagher. This is episode 3 in the BVTV Brand Visionary Trilogy with experienced marketer and author. Welcome back for the final time, James Everhart. Hello, James.
Hello, how are you? Glad to see you again.
I say the final time. It's just the final time in this trilogy. There is so much within your book that I don't want you to think you're just going to be able to do this one and get away with it all. You know, you'll be coming back to the UK, won't you?
Happy to come back anytime.
James, my belief is that if the alignment of business strategy and marketing strategy is to be successful, then clarity and accountability is necessary. And that means efficient monitoring and measurement. What's the best way to do it? What needs to be considered?
Well, when you talked about, finance and marketing, don't want to dance, I thought that was a great way to look at it. You talk about Mars and Venus. That's another one of those categories that fit that case. I used to, it's funny, I set the stage several times for discussions of marketing ROI by pointing out, like we would talk about how hard it is. People would talk about how hard it is to do really good ROI measurement and really determine, because there's so many factors and everything like that. But I said, yeah, that's true. And yeah, it's hard to get Google Analytics to report out what you want and connect with the CRM and all that kind of stuff. But I know that in most corporations, there's a CFO somewhere who says, wait a minute, you spent, pick it, $500,000 going to this trade show. You got 2,000 leads, or 200 leads. That's $2,500 a lead, and I know somebody's doing that math. I just know that. And so the point is, yes, it is hard and it can be complex, but it's not impossible. And the important thing you got to understand is that it is impossible if you're not planning it out. And that's kind of the process that I try and outline in Brand Vision. And when I worked at the agency that I worked at, it had probably every 2 months or two, the analytics director would come to me and say, okay, here they are. The account manager wants me to do analytics for whatever it is, a new website. And it's like, okay. And it's like we're trying to, and you kind of go back and do like a forensic audit. Like, okay, so why did we do this website? What are we trying to accomplish? What are we trying to do? And we kind of like figure all these things out. The point is, ROI and accountability aren't possible if you don't know what your objectives are, and if you don't know what you're trying to accomplish, what your goals are.
Are you saying that they were asking questions like that retrospectively, whereas they should have been at the front, shouldn't they?
Yes. And so that what for me, the brand vision process then is about the whole thing of creating campaigns so that the goal of the campaign is to structure the things not only so you get the outcome that you want at the end, but that on the interim steps that I want this to happen, I want this to happen, I want this to happen. Because part of the process is that that pick it, whatever it is, it's, as we talked about earlier, an individual thing, pick it, an email or something like that, doesn't sell by itself. It doesn't do the job. You need other parts of the process. So rather than, and we tend to say, okay, so boy, we did this brand vision, this tweet, and it didn't work. We didn't sell anything as a result. Well, that's because we didn't have all the pieces in place to do that, and to get us to the point, get to the prospect to the point where they do they can buy, and they can get what they want out. They get the information they need in order to make a considered, intelligent purchase. So the whole idea is then to create this process then, and that's the kind of brand vision strategy, which is to, you start with the strategy and objectives, you understand the audience and the, and the messaging, we do work on the messaging, and then we organize the campaigns around, we start, who are we talking to? How are we going to get them to, how are we going to reach these people? What's the best way to reach them? What are their hot buttons? What do we need to talk about? And we structure a campaign that's designed to take them through a logical process. And that's the value of the, aligned, that's the value of the pyramid process, which is that we're trying to say, okay, so how do we connect with them? How do we convince them? And then how do we convert them? So it's a three-step process that we want to follow those things. And then we organize it, we set our goals around that. And that then sets the stage for optimization and reporting.
Yeah. Now, can I ask them, so we're going to set up this measurement process, which often involves KPIs and everything. And what I found that is disconcerting is that the two protagonists, should we say, in this, marketing and finance, I know there's other people get involved, but they go off in their way. They put their own KPIs together and feed them in, and there's been no conversation of where the synergy lies.
Yeah, and part of the problem is because they're not going to, the finance, they're just going to look at the bottom line. And, they're going to, as in that example I talked about before about the trade show, one of the things they're going to miss if they just do the quick math on the trade show, they're going to miss the brand building that occurred, the industry leadership that you tried to set up, things like that. So those things have to be factored in. And, as part of an intelligent marketing program. But the whole idea is that you need to be able to, we know that, and once again, a social media or a tweet or even an email is not going to sell on its own. But we need to talk about what they can play and what they can do. So, and this is the magic of the process, because knowing this is a game changer. Knowing what works, absolutely, that can help you build competitive advantage.
Brilliant, James, brilliant. Now let's give viewers and listeners for a final time details of your URL, which obviously viewers you can see on the screen behind me, but for listeners, let me spell it out for you. It's all the W's dot brandvisionbook.com. brandvisionbook.com. James's book, this one, which I've been going on and waxing lyrical about because it is great, is called Brand Vision, The Clear Line of Sight Aligning Business Strategy and Marketing Tactics. And it's published by Business Expert Press. I really like James' book as a true silo buster, if you will allow it in your business. It will work, but you've got to be prepared to allow that silo busting. All sides of a business need to read it, all sides, and apply it, and it will work. Thanks for a great BVTV trilogy, James Everhart.
Thank you very much, and thanks very much for having me.